Hello everyone. This is gonna be my first official video. Well, that's not an intro for this channel. Hi, welcome. My name's Hannah, and this video is gonna be about my mental health slash like life transformation, I guess you could say. It's gonna start from when I was a little kid up until now at the age of 26. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so from when I was a little girl up until I was about 18, 19, so my first couple years of college, I was a very like happy-go-lucky girl. Like I had a lust for life. I was really into like planning my Halloween costumes. Like it was something I would obsess over. I was that into it. I was really happy. I was always singing little bits of songs. I was always tap dancing because I was in dance class as a kid up until I graduated high school. I did dance the whole time. And I just really enjoyed living. I had a happiness that I ended up kind of losing later in life. And so that was childhood up until 18, 19. If you know me, you know that my freshman year of college, I met my first boyfriend, who I later got engaged to. And those were not very good years for me. So 18 to 23, I kind of lost myself, became a shell of myself, lost that happiness I had when I was younger. I mean, I was still a happy person, but I just kind of lost like a good chunk of that. And throughout those years, I was super into baking from like teenage years, so like 14, 15 up until a few years ago. I was super into baking. That was like a main hobby. I wanted to open a bakery when I graduated college. I majored in entrepreneurship, so I know the business side of how to handle all that. And then that dream kind of died a couple of years ago in about 2020, but I'll get to that later. Also, throughout those college years when I was dating my ex, I gained 50 to 60 pounds. I used to be skinny. I'm gonna make a whole other video about how I'm finally ready to do something about the weight that I have gained. But that's a whole separate thing and that'll be coming later. So I became depressed during ages 18 to 23 when I ended it in 2019. But I was just really struggling, had gained a bunch of weight, not making the best of my college years because I was kind of obsessed with that relationship, not doing anywhere near as many activities as I should have, and participating in stuff that college kids usually do. Not like partying, I didn't do that, but like I just missed out on a lot of experiences I could have had. And it's my own fault because I chose to make that relationship kind of like the center of my world. I didn't have to do that. So summer 2019, I finally get fed up in the relationship. I was feeling a lot happier after that. Like I felt like I had like gotten rid of like a cancer almost. I know it's a little dramatic, but that's how I felt. And then in November of 2019, when I was 23 years old, I started getting really, really low. I was having incredibly terrible, intrusive thoughts constantly about cutting myself. I never cut, thank God, but like I thought about it. I was working 2 jobs at the time. All day at work, no matter how busy I got, it was still in the back of my mind. Hannah, you should cut yourself. Aren't you cutting yourself? And it got so bad that I finally decided I had to go to the mental hospital. So I voluntarily checked myself in to a mental hospital in Suffolk, Virginia. And I was there for about 5 or 6 days, and I got out 2 days for Thanksgiving. And I finally was able to be they got me hooked up with a therapist and a psychiatrist so I could start being on meds. The first 2 meds I was on was Atarax for anxiety and Prozac for depression. So I was on those for a few months. And then, so that was November 2019. And then January 2020, I matched with my now husband on Tinder. And we started dating, and I was happier because, I mean, I had a relationship and I loved him. And I knew within the year that I wanted to marry him. But I still was just really struggling with my mental health and just being very negative a lot. It just wasn't good for me. So then that was 2020. And then in June 2021, so June last year, when I was 25, I got engaged to him. And you would think that I'd been a lot happier, and I was happy because I was excited to be planning the wedding and getting to spend the rest of my life with the person I was meant to be with. But it just, for some reason, it didn't fix anything. So, kids, if you're unhappy, whether you are gonna like stay with that person forever because they're meant to be together, you're meant to be with that person, getting married does not fix things. And I got married 4 months later in October 2021. So it's been almost a year since we got married. It's been right at 10 months, or about to be 10 months on the 23rd. Wait, say 23rd? Yeah, it is. So it'll be 10 months today. So in 2 months, it'll be a whole year since we got married. And I should mention that starting in about the summer to late 2021, up until very recently, I was not good to him. I was not good to my husband. I treated him like, I treated him like shit. I always had mean things to say. Whenever I would like mention something I didn't like, I'd do it in the rudest way possible. I couldn't respectfully be like, hey, I noticed you're doing this. Can you please do this instead? I was not constructively criticizing him. I was being a bitch, honestly. I can't believe some of the stuff I said to him. It's stuff that other people might would have done to me because of some of the things I said to him. It got that bad. And I knew I had to change, but I didn't really want to until the past couple of months. I had so many moments where I was like, oh my God, I'll never treat him like that again. I'll never say such awful things to him again. But then I would get mad and the words would just come out. It's like I had no control over myself. But side note, I still do have a couple of slip-ups, but they're nowhere near as bad as they were at the beginning of the year, at least. And I'm able to get over myself a lot faster, apologize faster, and I'm just not having near as many problems with that as I was. So I was being a toxic partner up until very recently, and I still do have moments where I'm not exactly nice, but I'm not like a little demon spawn anymore, thank God. I should also mention that in December of last year, so December 2021, I just got hooked up with a different therapist who was a lot more helpful, because the therapist I got hooked up with right after I got out of the mental hospital, he kind of sucked. He didn't really help me very much. I would ask him point blank what I was supposed to do in certain situations, and he wouldn't really give me an answer. And I know that therapists are supposed to let you figure out your problems for yourself, but like, he just wasn't being helpful at all. So I got that new therapist. I'm still seeing her. I just saw her yesterday. She's awesome. She's really helped me out, and I just like her a lot. And then I got put on a good combination of medication. I'm on lithium and Latuda because I should have mentioned this already. I took notes, but I still forgot to mention some things. I am bipolar. I got diagnosed right after I got out of the mental hospital in 2019. A lot of people in my family are bipolar, so makes sense. But yeah, I'm on Latuda and lithium to treat that. Anyway, so we are to now. So I can't pinpoint exactly when things started getting better between me and my husband in terms of like me finally starting to realize that I really did have to change the way I treated him. But that happened sometime a couple of months ago. And like I said, I do still struggle with it. I do still catch I do still catch myself saying things that aren't exactly nice. But I'm not being a shrew anymore. Thank God. So I feel happier. I'm still struggling with phone addiction. That's real. Unlike a lot of millennials and Gen Z, I'm addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to the dopamine rush that it gives me. I find myself compulsively reaching for it all the time just to scroll, mindlessly scrolling. So I need to work on that. But I still have a lot of things I need to work on, just like we all do. But I'm happier. I have more interest in baking again because I mentioned earlier that in my college and teenage years, I had a dream of opening a bakery when I was older. that was like my dream in life. I was so passionate about it, so I was baking stuff all the time. And I never truly lost the love for it, but I stopped doing it a lot. It was a lot less frequent that I actually bake something. And now that fall's coming up, I've been on Pinterest pinning a lot of fall recipes. I made some pumpkin chocolate chip blondies, the other day that were really good. Oh, Jesus. I've renewed the interest in that. Thank God, one of my biggest hobbies. I started cooking again more because honestly, I felt like I was being kind of a bad wife since I married Dane, because I was cooking maybe once a month. And I have all these ingredients and stuff to cook with, and I like to do it, but I just like couldn't make myself do it. But I've cooked 2 times the past week, so that's pretty good for me. I've renewed lust for life, and this particular change, the one I'm talking about right now, it started a couple of months ago, but it got real like a week or 2 ago, because I just had this moment where I just became sick of what I had become. I became sick of my mindset. I was sick of my size. I was sick of the amount of weight I had gained. I was sick of my body type and the shape that's become. I was sick of how I was living, because I wasn't really living. That's the problem. Like, I would go to my appointments. I would like make plans to go hang out with friends. Me and Dane would go on trips. But like, I don't know how to describe it. I wasn't living. I'm trying to be more positive. I'm not focusing on the negative as much, because part of the reason I was so depressed, because I was just so damn negative and I could not focus on the good, you know? And a lot of people struggle with that. I'm ready to pursue my passions, like this YouTube channel. Because I forgot to mention this in my intro that I made the other day, but I literally wanted to start a YouTube channel since I was like 15, 16. So for like 10 years now. Ever since I started consuming YouTube content and people started being able to make careers off of YouTube, like they did when I was a teenager. So 10, 12 years ago, when that first started really happening. I wanted to have that lifestyle. So maybe that'll happen to me. If it does, that'd be so awesome. I would love to just vlog, make fun videos, tell my story, do stuff with Dane, do travel stuff, film like my party planning process, because I'm planning a Halloween party at my house. Very exciting, with my friends and family. So it would just be so cool if I could make this into a career. I don't even have to make a whole lot of money off of it. Like, I don't want to be rich off of YouTube, and if that happened, awesome. But I just want this to be like a way that I can, you know, contribute to my household. So I'm ready to pursue my passions of YouTube, and I've gotten more interested in crafting lately, because over the years I have bought all kinds of supplies to learn different crafts or make stuff that I knew how to make, but I just had no motivation to actually make it, take the time to do it, because for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm afraid to fail. A lot of us are. My therapist's like, Hannah, you're afraid to fail, and I was like, yeah, you're right. That's the reason I didn't pursue YouTube for a long time, was because I was afraid of failure. I was afraid nothing would come of it. Which, I mean, if nothing does, it's not the end of the world. But, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I let the fear of failure hold me back. Like, I specifically remember as, like, a young child, like grade school, like, not wanting to learn how to play an instrument because it was a lot of work, a lot of time, practice. I was one of those people, and still kind of am, where if I wasn't immediately successful with something, I thought I was a failure. So, but I'm going to try really hard not to be like that anymore. So, sorry about sneezing. I don't know how to edit stuff out yet, but I'll learn. Where am I? Oh, so, about how I mentioned that, it was only until very recently that I finally made the choice to change my life for the better. Being in therapy, being on meds, my husband is basically a coach. He's tried to coach me a lot. that, having a supportive mom, none of that was able to help me finally have this moment of recognition that I had to change. I wanted to, I knew I had to, but like, it wasn't until very recently where something just snapped in me where, like I said, I got sick of myself and I was finally ready to make these positive changes in my life. So the thing is, that's how it is for a lot of people. Like, no one is going to change until they're finally sick of themselves and are ready to do it. It's just the way it is. Like, people have been telling me that since I was a kid. Like, that's just the way it is, you know? I'm making an effort to choose kindness with my husband because, like I said earlier, for a long time I was really struggling with this little demon spawn inside of me that was treating him terribly. So I'm making an effort not to do that. What else? Last week we were on the road to my sister-in-law's wedding. And I literally said to him in the car, I was like, how'd you not get sick of me? When I was doing all that stuff and being so negative and unhealthy, like, how did you not just dump me and say, you know what, she's never going to change. I might as well cut my losses and leave her. And he just had faith in me, just like my mom did. Like, they just knew that eventually it would happen, and eventually I would realize I just had to come to it in my own time. And that's so true because, like, if you feel like you're stuck in mental health, weight, unhealthy ways of all kinds, if you feel like you're stuck, eventually you will have that moment where you'll decide enough is enough. And it might take years. It could take a couple of months. For me, it took years. It took me years to get here. And I still have so much growing and changing to do. I just started. So please don't get frustrated with your loved ones who you see might have been in the same position I was. They will find their way eventually. So just be patient. So what's now? What now? It is time for me to have a full body, full mind, full soul transformation. I'm ready to lose the college weight to the best of my abilities. Completely change the way I think about life and the everyday and work, because for a long time I didn't want to work, and I still don't want to do traditional work. Like, I don't want to go to retail. I don't want to go work in an office. I want to work on creative pursuits and hopefully create some sort of living for myself from that. Because that's what I'm cut out to do. So that's the dream. So why did I make this video? Why am I telling my story? Who cares? First of all, I want my family and friends to see how I've been doing, maybe, because, you know, you just never know what's going on in somebody's life. You never know what people are struggling with. I'm pretty open with my struggles online. But first of all, I just wanted to help somebody. Because maybe somebody will see this who's been stuck for years, months, decades, and they'll be inspired that, you know what, I can change too. And as I've said, I just started this change. So I'm nowhere near perfect. I never will be. No one's ever going to be perfect. But I can become the best version of myself. And I'm finally working towards that. And so can you. And I genuinely just like sharing my life online. My thoughts, feelings, what's going on with me. I just think it's fun. So in closing, I'm finally ready to end this video. I saw this post quite literally a couple of days ago. It was a really pretty little graphic of this quote on Instagram. It said, "I hope that you fall in love with being alive." And it just struck a chord in me because I used to be like that. I used to be so in love with life as a kid and teenager. And I lost it for like 7 years. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be happy and like enjoy my life and make the absolute best of it. So I hope you can too. I want that for everybody in my family, all my friends, everybody out there, you watching this. I want you to love your life and make the best of it. So, that's all I had. And, my next video is either going to be how I lost myself in college, which I kind of talked about in this, and maybe I won't even make a video about that. and how I plan on doing this full body transformation, like fitness journey. So thank you for watching. I hope you tune into the next one, and goodbye.